The Pokemon Company has been playing this game for a long time. They create some new Pokemon, they update the graphics just a little bit, and they sell us the same game over and over and over again. And a lot of people are kind of tired of it, right? I mean, people are saying, hey, you're getting too formulaic, you're getting lazy. But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are some of the best-selling Switch games of all time already. I mean, they've had a ridiculously strong opening weekend. And you're probably wondering, are these games any good? Now, I haven't gotten Pokemon Scarlet, which I know the two are pretty much the same, but I don't want to speak for Pokemon Scarlet. But the question is, are these good games? Well, it's complicated. First, I need to let you know that I have a very strong bias. Ever since 2005, really, I've had a very, very strong connection with the color purple in particular. I mean, purple, lavender, violet, all variations on this color, I've just loved. So when they pulled out a game called Pokemon Violet, my bias was there. I had to grab the game, not out of loyalty to the Pokemon Company, mind you, but loyalty to my favorite color. If my favorite color was red or blue, it would have been a lot simpler, but no, here we are. So I do have that bias, and keep that in mind as we move forward. Also, to come completely clean, I haven't completed this game yet. I mean, in many ways it feels like I'm just getting started. But when you think about it, how do you complete a game like Pokemon Violet? Is it done when you've beat the champion? Does it end when you've caught every single Pokemon? Or does the game end once you've become the world champion at the VGC events? I can't give you that answer. All I can tell you is there is a lot that I have not done in this game, and that is going to skew my review a little bit. I think one of the most important things starting out, just look at the box art. Now, I've expressed to you from the very beginning that Pokemon Violet, that's my color. But I would be lying to you if I said that Pokemon Violet was the better of the two in terms of cover art. Now, I like what I'm seeing here, but he doesn't have the same regal presence that his friend Koraidon does. I think that's his name. It's Koraidon and Miraidon, and I think that's who's who. This Pokemon, very futuristic, and I really like how he looks in the game. I think he pulls off the motorcycle look, specifically. I can see myself riding around on this guy, going through the region, flying around. I think it works a lot better than the running around that Koraidon does. Now, you're going to have a different opinion than me, obviously, but that was one of the main deciding factors when I chose these games. But if you want really, really good box art, I would go for Pokemon Scarlet, personally. I just think it looks better. Now, on the back side of the cover, we have this unfortunate ratio that we usually get. We have over half of the back is just talking about safety things, like this game has online features. You can use a Switch Pro controller. Warning, don't play this game if you have epilepsy or seizures. Read the Nintendo health and safety information for the Switch before setting up your system. Copyright 2022. That's a lot of information for the back cover, and they're not really using this real estate to put on a lot of good art. There are like 5 images on the back, and I don't feel like they really encapsulate the entire adventure. Not only that, but maybe this is a plus side, half of the dialogue, half of the language here is in Spanish. Now, it's a Japanese game, so I'm not sure exactly why they chose Spanish, but if you're someone who speaks Spanish, or maybe even prefers Spanish as your native language, this game does have Spanish on the cover, so that might be a huge selling point for you. Now, on the inside, I mean, as per usual, the game cartridge is much smaller than the entire box. I know it's not a Pokemon Company thing, I know it's a Nintendo thing. They really love having their really tall boxes that are way bigger than the Switch. Other downside, no manual. They didn't include a manual for this game. I'm not sure exactly why they didn't. I know when I was a kid, the best part of getting a new Pokemon game was reading through the manual. I mean, what are the instructions on how to play this game? How do I have fun? What are all of the secret menus doing? I don't know. And that's why I like the manual. It's nice, it's simple, it has a lot of art. It even has the little clips to put the manual in, but it doesn't matter because they don't follow through. They never follow through. But if you don't care about the manual, then that's not really a downside for you now, is it? Other things to talk about for this game. The music, surprisingly good. The opening music especially just really got my blood pumping. I'm like, okay, all right, this is not the generic bum ba dum bum ba whatever you get for Pokemon. No, this was adventure music, and I appreciated that. There are some new forms of Pokemon, even Pokemon that weren't shown in the trailers. Just as the game opens up, it shows you a couple of different bird Pokemon that you didn't know were in the game, and it shows you one famous legacy Pokemon in a new form fighting against a muck. So I'm not going to spoil for you what they are because I want you to enjoy it for yourself. But right off the bat, they're showing you a lot of their cards. And I appreciate that they're letting you know that there's a lot to experience within this world. Other things to keep in mind, the character customization. At the very beginning, they give you 8 styles. It's 4 racial variations on 2 gender options. You have your sort of masculine boy and your feminine girl. You can choose which one you want, but they don't give you a lot of customization beyond that. I mean, you're playing as a child. Personally, I like playing as characters that are closer to my age, teenagers at the youngest. If you're someone who just hates children, I'm sorry for you, for one thing, but also, maybe don't get this game. If you see a child and want to punt them, you're going to be seeing one child throughout the entire game, as in your player character. Maybe they're trying to invoke your inner child. I don't know exactly. But that's just something to keep in mind, is you're playing as a kid. Now, another thing to keep in mind, you get to wear shorts in this game. Now, as for me, I think shorts are awesome. They're comfortable and they're easy to wear. I think it's a great way to harken back to some of the older classic lines from Pokemon. Some people don't like shorts. They have to see the knees, and some people just don't like seeing knees for how knobby they are. If you hate shorts, this is not the game for you. If you don't mind shorts, or if you even like shorts, maybe consider picking up this game. It's got shorts in it. Between the 2 games, you get either orange shorts if you're playing Scarlet, which I don't really get because orange is not the same as Scarlet. Like, I don't know why they didn't just pick the same color of Scarlet that was on the cover of Scarlet, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. If you're playing Pokemon Violet, you get purple shorts, and I think that's cool. That's my take on things. Other things to consider between the 2 games, or specifically just booting up this game, you gotta pick a starter Pokemon. Now, for my money, all 3 starters have really awesome starting out designs. You got your awesome duck of Quaxley, you got Sprigatito, who's a cute little leafy cat, and then you got, I forget his name. Fuecoco. Fuecoco, he's awesome. He's just this little guy. He's like, nah, 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 nah. As for their evolutions, I've seen them. I think they all look pretty okay. I did not think I would enjoy Sprigatito's final evolution, but I think I do. I think it looks cool. Fuecoco evolves into this absolute monstrosity, which I love. And Quax's evolution, he's okay. I'm not going to argue too much about this. I mean, starter choice is completely on you. As for me, I think I'm going to choose Sprigatito, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I've gotten to the point in the game where the old professor guy walks into your house and says, "Hey, we need you to sign some paperwork." And that's another thing that I need to complain to you about for this game. There's this thing called stranger danger. I know some people have relationships with their friends, where their friends are allowed to knock and just enter because they are trusted. This game has a professor type figure, like someone who runs the entirety of the school that you're going to. And it's your first day of school, and he shows up at your house because he has some paperwork that needs to get done. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's not a huge school anyway, and I appreciate that this guy's going out of his way to make sure things go correctly. Especially if it was the school's fault that we didn't get things sorted out in the first place. What I cannot excuse is the fact that he rings the doorbell, knocks on the door, and then walks in before I can let him in. "Oh, pardon me, I'd like to talk to you." No! You don't just walk into somebody else's house. Are we trying to teach our kids bad manners? Parents, don't buy this game for your kids. you will teach them that it's okay to just walk in without being directly invited. Announcing your presence isn't enough if it's a stranger's house. And that guy is frankly completely unprofessional. So that's, for me, a really big point to think about. Other things to consider. I haven't gotten far enough in the game where you're allowed to use running shoes or anything. But I've walked around in my house, and I mean, the controls feel fine. But whenever I press the Y button, my character just stops. I'm not sure if the Y button does something else later when I unlock items. But if you like just mashing the Y button while you're running, don't do it. Not in this game. It punishes you for mashing the Y button. So Y enthusiasts, people who play Pokemon Y, this ain't the generation for you. Maybe take a break from this one. Honestly. But overall, is Pokemon Violet a good game? I would say yes. And that's not just my bias for the color purple talking. I enjoy Pokemon. They've got Pokemon in this game. I think Miraidon looks pretty cool when he's flying around in his little robotiness. You know, I think he looks good. I think Pokemon are fun. I think the character models are actually not as bad as I thought they were going to be. The trailers didn't really do them justice, I think. From the animations I've seen in the game, everyone feels a lot more expressive. Maybe it's just their body language, maybe it's just the variety. It feels like the character animations are more expressive though, which is another huge selling point for me. You get to wear shorts. They're comfy, they're easy to wear. I've already made that joke, but it still rings true. And it's got a big world to explore. I mean, so far I've just explored the house, but it's a pretty big house, so what can I say? It's a good game. Pick it up.